In this episode, I show my appreciation for old Tom, Rambler 69. I fight with the paint job, still have fun. Interested? Stay tuned.
Hello YouTubians and model building maniacs. In this episode I want to show my appreciation for
Old Tom, Rambler 69.
everything starts with the right kit. And I think this one might be perfect. What I really liked on his builds is always how clean and especially how perfect the paint jobs always are. So I choose a model that I think would perfectly fit in Tom's wheelhouse. So I try not to change too much on the kit. I wanna get my main focus on really have a great paint job. After I wash down the whole kit with dishwash soap, I cut off all the parts from the tree and of course put them in my sort boxes. The interior looks really fantastic. I like that special pattern here on the seats as well. And look at that, they even had a little guitar in there. Some parts I always can glue together before the painting starts, so I do that first. The chrome parts I always use bleach to get rid of the chrome. I used to use a cup for that procedure, but recently I started to take a bag. The parts are closer together and so you need less of the bleach. But the parts must have a very thick coat of chrome on it, because usually after a couple minutes the chrome is gone, and here after a couple hours there was still chrome on it. If there's one thing that really disturbs me on those kits, is it the fact that they always have to put their names on the kit. And not just like printed on, but even like with raised letters. But all the complaining will not make him disappear, so I took a chisel and some sanding paper and of course tried to get as good as possible rid of it. What works pretty good to even out rough surfaces from sanding and scratches is take some Tamiya Thin or any other solvent will probably do the job, and just put it on top and it will eat up the small little scratches and you end up with a smooth surface. The thread of the tire looks always a little bit too brand new to me, so I mixed a grayish color with white and black so it looks a little bit more used. Since this is an open car and the windshield is gonna be seen from both sides, I glued them in first, and I'm gonna use some masking fluid to mask the glass, and then I'm gonna paint the frame in black. The masking fluid takes a while until it dried, so I used the time and started to working on the body. First I primed the body, then I sprayed on some silver. After that was dry, I put on those black flames. They were just decals. And then I put on some red candy. And then I screwed it up somehow. I don't know. For some reason, the silver seemed to eat up the red and it just didn't work out. So I let that all stay the way it is, let it completely dry, and have to figure a solution for that later on. But until then, I started to building the engine. First I painted all the parts and then of course assembled the engine. I masked the interior parts and painted them with my airbrush. And I also painted the frame of the windshield, although later on we will figure that that was all in vain because I not even liked that windshield on the car. But back to our paint job. Well, it's even worse than I thought, because not just that the paint ate up or reacted whatever, it also just has no adhesive. You know, you can peel it off. And at that part I was just really desperate. So, well, with any further ado, just down with the custom paint job. So after I scratched all the paint from the body, put another coat of primer on it, and it looks like there's a face of the moon. At that point I was really desperate, and I really thought, should I change my plan, and instead of making a speed rod, a shiny whatever build, and go with a red rod. So, well, I anyway had to let the primer dry, and while that all happened, I started with the interior. For the dashboard I decided to drill out the gauges. After that is done, I'm gonna cut out the decals that are in the kit, and I will glue them from the rear side on the dashboard. Final step's gonna be a drop of UV resin to represent the lints of the gauges. I finished up the chassis and the rest of the interior as well. A couple days later, of course, I looked at the body again and I thought, okay, I will take on the challenge. So I put on 3 coats of primer and a guide coat that is just a black mist. And so you have the chance, when you sand down, all the black spots are the spots they are still too deep. So basically, if you sand it down and all the black spots are gone, you should be even. After all that, I painted the body in orange, and well, it turned out not that bad. So of course I had to add a couple coats of clear and assembly, and here is now the finished build. Alright, that's all for this episode, so I hope you all enjoyed the build, you liked it a little bit. Have fun with whatever is on your bench. See you soon. Bye, y'all.